are we each getting hung up? I know for me, I have a million ideas and I have a hard time figuring out which one to start with. Where do you two get hung up?
That can be the same with me. One of the things that I'm working on to help with that is, I hired my second virtual assistant, and I have been taking and getting my processes together and having her do some of those. And then, instead of me just going through and doing it myself, kind of going through and showing her how to do it, so that the next one then she can do, and then I can go back and check and say, okay, these are the things. So, and that's helping a bit, as far as kind of right now during this stage of it, it's slower because I'm teaching how to do some things, but I think in the end, it's going to help me then free up some time for some other things that I'm like want to do. Your whole contact or connect page, I need to do that. And so I've got lists of things like that I just haven't done, and I want to. So and all. So I think that kind of getting my processes down, and then so that I can get my assistants to do more of that work, to where I'm just checking things and not doing all the work. So more managing and overseeing.
How do you prioritize your tasks?
Yeah, I agree. But also in mine, it's more like, I know I need to set this up, but what do I want to say? Or how, just like when you suggested the thank you after you fill out the form, but I think the last time we spoke about it, it was like, even though you say thank you for signing up, also put on there like it could take 24 to 72 hours to respond. But just like even when writing blog posts, it's more like, what do I want to say, and does it come across boring? How can I make it more interesting, type thing? Or figure out what people are more interested in reading about.
Yeah, I had a boss who used to say, and he said it so often, I attributed it to him, but it's really a quote by Voltaire. It's don't let perfection be the enemy of progress.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes getting something up is better than
nothing at all.
Well, than getting it perfect.
Done is better than perfect. Yes.
Today, I just wrote a blog post that I've literally spent 2 months writing.
Yeah.
And it just got to the point where I just like, you know what? Done.
Yeah.
It's done. Yeah, I can go update it later if I really need to. But 2 months is pretty. It was probably good a month ago, but I didn't want to launch it because I was just too afraid.
Yeah, it needs to be perfect. I know how that is. Yeah. I know I've got several things that I've got that blog posts that I need to put up, and I just haven't, like, just the final little things like getting my images and all, and getting certain things optimized before I upload it. A lot of that I send to my assistant to do, but I just haven't even given him the task to do it because I've got him working on other things.
Right.
So it's just like, well, that's not as important, so I'll do other things.
Yeah, I got a blog post that's done. It's got a photo with it, but I haven't posted it yet, and it's been completed since like a month ago.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And I also want to look more on the whole website speed and stuff, and get that. So one of the things we talked about, was it last week? We talked about the WebP images. So evidently I have a way of doing it and didn't even realize it on my site. So I have Short Pixel plugin, and you check a box, but then you have to go down and like authorize, give some API with Cloudflare. And so that's what I did. I don't know, one day this week, Monday maybe it was. But the thing was, I ran it through GTmetrix and Lighthouse before. And then when I ran it afterwards, both times my desktop speed was really good. My mobile speed is not. And it actually got worse after I did that. And I'm like, so I need to spend time working on and seeing, and I just haven't spent time doing it. It's, it's one of those, well, I'll get to it. So.
Yeah. And, I hope that the game plan and the steps kind of help prioritize things, right?
Yeah.
We can obsess about page speed. We've talked a ton about it. But what it's turned out to be is not as big of a deal.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my mobile was like 54, and I'm just like, it can be better and I need to work on it, but it's not the number one on my list.
Right.
I mean, don't feel bad, because I can't get mobile up past 50 something to save my life.
Yeah.
And I went through like almost every step that that's recommended between GTmetrix and the other page speed website.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And, but there's more important things than that, right?
Right.
Having a call to action on your site.
Yeah.
Is more important than that. Having done keyword research to understand what pages you need. Mm-hmm. Having the page on your site is more important than it loading fast.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And so, having a plan for how you're going to add pages to your site. Like, I would almost let the page speed suck until later you got the page up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's better to have a page and it be slow than to not have a page and miss out on that traffic.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I have to follow the process for myself as much as my own clients. I follow this for my clients, but I often neglect it for myself because I have a ton of ideas. I have to go back to this on a regular basis and say, okay, where am I? Mm-hmm. Oh, I haven't checked Webmaster Tools in a few weeks. I'm going to start there just to make sure nothing weird's happened.
Yeah.
And if I only get to that that's the only thing I do for myself once a week, I think that's some sort of progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the plan that you have out is very good, because the other day I realized, I think I saw the email, but just ignored the email. But I had got an email from Google Analytics that it was going to stop my reports as of May 2nd. And the only reason I realized that, because I was like, wait a minute, I haven't gotten any reports this month. And I went back and looked in the folder that I have in in my Gmail, and there was the email saying that it was going to stop the reports.
Yeah.
So I got to go back and do that.
Is that where they expire? Did you get a notice? So you do get a notice when they expire?
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
you
well,
do.
that's good, because I was like, have different dates on some of mine. I'm like, I got to remember this, but at least, okay.
Yeah.
So I'll have to remember not to ignore the email, which I can do that as well, Ivania.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's like, I'll look at this later, and you keep it, and then it's like,
yeah.
Well, and to help me, I always have them scheduled to arrive Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
like one of my first things to do for every client on Monday is to look at the weekly report, the weekly dashboard.
Yeah.
And that prompts me to go into Search Console and troubleshoot. And I can't tell you how many times that saved my bacon.
I need to focus and go back and do some of that work on mine.
So yeah,
I mean, I hope it doesn't discourage you. I'm hoping to encourage you to say, we all have this struggle,
Yeah.
right?
no, it does.
And if we all know a lot, and so our tendency is to ignore the process because we know better.
Mhm.
But I have to use the process that I wrote, because if I don't use my own process, I will overlook things.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's meant to free me up to be creative rather than is to shackle me to only the process.
Yeah.
So
And-
if I follow the process and check my reports every week, then I can rest assured that that's okay, and I can start to do the fun creative stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I need to get my processes a little more organized. Like I have them all down, but like sometimes I have them and I don't look at them. I was starting new website a week and a half ago, and I'm like, okay, let's get going. I started working. I'm like, where's your checklist for shit? Go down in order so that you don't forget a step. And because I have like one and it's just a base one, and then I copy it for each client, and then it has a checkbox next to it. So done, not done. So I know, if I had to skip something for some reason that it hasn't been done, I have to go back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that I just need to make sure I do that, because sometimes it's, you just get going, okay, let me do this, and you don't look at your checklist.
Yep.
yeah, which is important because like that 6 months thing, check certain things every 6 months is important because if I probably would, well, I looked at the email, but I said I'll do it later and didn't get back around to it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
But I think I got stuck on the Google Site Kit. I was like, well, that gives me all my reports anyways. I can just go there and look versus when Google sends me my reports every week. So, but yeah, that's important.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I've got mine coming in. Got my weekly reports and then my monthly reports. So
Yeah, I got to go back in and redo mine because they expired.
Well, it's really easy to restart it. Just go into admin console of
Admin
each,
console.
and over on the view, there's something that says, emailed reports, and you can just enable it again and it'll immediately start.
Okay.
So you don't have to set it up again.
okay, good to
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll do the same thing. I'll be like, wait, I don't think I've gotten a report like this for a few weeks. And I'll be like, oh crap, that's because it expired and I didn't pay attention.
Yeah. Why does Google set that to expire? You want to keep
Yeah,
it-
because they don't want to send out any emails if you don't want to get them either.